Okay, here's looking at you, kid. Velma Hagar here. Mm, mm. And the Guido. Look at the Guido back there. Okay, today's Mother's Day. I'm getting ready to go over to my daughter's house. And I just felt compelled as I was thinking about mothers. I just had a corn chip told on myself. I was thinking about mothers who carry guilt. Maybe your children went amok, or maybe they don't like you and they've cut you off. Just all kinds of things that happen in the relationship with mother and child. I want to tell you something. Every one of us has reason to feel guilty about some of the things that we did when we were raising our children. Motherhood is probably we're the least trained to take it on, and yet the most important job we'll ever do. I remember when my Stacy was born, oh my gosh, I cried every time she cried. I was no more prepared than the man on the moon. In fact, my sister had said to me, don't worry, when she's born, your motherly instinct will kick in and you'll just know what to do. Not this girl. Oh my gosh, my poor little Stacy. And luckily, Stacy was a good baby. She slept all night. And it was a good thing because God knew what I could handle. And then by the time Eric got here and I was a little more seasoned at being a mother, he was just a brat. He cried all the time. So God knows what you can do. And you know what? Do the best you can. And forgive yourself if you didn't do absolutely everything right. In spite of us, our kids usually grow up all right. We are living in troubled times, and a lot of times the kids that have gone amok are simply a product of our culture. I mean, let's face it, our culture. School teaches them things subliminally that they shouldn't teach them. When we were growing up, it was a lot easier because there was ethics. People were ethical. We lived in a country that honored the biblical principles. We prayed in our schools. We respected our superiors. We respected our government officials. Today, these kids, they don't know what to do. And it's not your fault. It's not even their fault. They're victims of the time. But that isn't really what I wanted to say. I wanted to encourage you as a parent. Look, it isn't how you start out that counts, but rather how you end. So whatever you may have done when your kids were growing up, or you're still doing, it's never too late to change. I always loved the story about Benedict Arnold. I've told you this before, but that guy impacted me so much. When I say the word Benedict Arnold to you, what do you think of? You immediately think of a traitor. Everybody does, right? Benedict Arnold. Do you know that Benedict Arnold only ended his life that way? He started his life out. He was a military man. He was a blessing to our government, but he turned a traitor in the end. And consequently, we only remember how he ended. And that's how you can be too, only on the reverse. Regardless of what you may have done in your youth or the kind of parent you think you were, that you ruined the children, be different now. Be remembered for what you want to be remembered by being that person now. You can change. I was like, oh my gosh, when Bob left, I was a horrible parent for 6 years. My poor kids, they were 15, 14, and 9. And I left those kids. I went out in the bars. I mean, I was horrible. Now, but today, I want to tell you something. I'm a darn good mother, and I'm an amazing grandma. I made changes, and my kids will remember me the way I am today, not the way I was back then. I guarantee you. I was dumb, and I did some stupid things, and so did you. You did them. And the best thing you could do is to simply say to your kids, whatever I did that was wrong when you were young or last year, please forgive me. Please forgive me. I want to be different. I want you to have good memories of your mother. I want to do what's right. Ask their forgiveness. And the worst part, let me tell you the worst part of all. The scriptures say that the cursings of the parents go down even to the 10th generation. But you know what? The blessings go down too. So we have done things. I mean, my son the other day did a confession to his daughter. I loved it. He said, I did some things that I know that cursings came down on you. And I want you to know I'm sorry, and I take them, I stand, I want them off you. And so, you know, whatever you may have done that could have brought things down on your children, ask them to forgive you. Ask God to forgive you. And then pray a blessing on them. And from this day forward, do things that drop blessings on them. It says that the heritage of those that serve the Lord, your children will be taught of Him. That's the heritage they get. So you want any curses that came down on you as a child, stop them right here. Don't let them go down on your children too. Stop them by making those changes that need to be made. I think this is an important video. I really do. I'm probably not as eloquent as I should be in telling it and saying it, but I'm telling you guys, listen to me. No guilt. From this day forward, do everything you know to do that's right for your children. Instruct them, you know, show them, live a life that they can see God in you. Your chaste behavior will bring them to the Lord, will bring them around. Ask for the forgiveness and then forgive yourself as well. See that little button down there that says subscribe? Hit that little sucker, will you? Subscribe. You've been doing pretty good in that area. So that's it. What'd you think? So this is Velma Hagar. Buy her book, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places. And until next time, she's bidding you a blessed day and reminding you, set a good example, leave a good legacy for your children. Bye.